It is the 21st of September 1942, and our military operations have ground to a halt. We have been able to capture parts of South Africa, and unfortunately we have run into some firm opposition, mostly in the form of American troops who have been launching fierce counterattacks both in the south and in the northern theaters, where we have been pushed back by American tanks while we were trying to reach Tobruk. In Europe, the things are similarly dire, although in the other direction, because the Germans, or in this case the Hungarians, are close to Moscow. They're literally at the river. Presumably Stalin has been burning all his papers and is retreating eastwards. Italy is controlling Norway, but other than that, the Allies have very much focused on pushing us back in Africa. Now, in North Africa, I understand this sentiment because they are trying to launch an assault against a naval assault against Italy, and potentially liberate Greece as well. However, in southern Africa, it must be about the resources that they are trying to maintain. We are facing currently Dutch troops and a large amount of British troops. It looks like some French troops, some Australian divisions. It looks like the Americans have somewhat retreated from this front. But the British are certainly still very, very busy. In Central Africa, we are also facing British and Belgian troops, but we have retreated towards our lines of supply after our commanders have shown significant displeasure with the prospect of further offensive operations into the without supply into the jungle of Central Africa. So, in consequence, what we're going to be doing is we're going to pause offensive operations for a while. We need to redirect our construction efforts towards building up our industry a little. We need to build more military factories. We are training more troops. We're training a whole new army, and this is going to require some increased production of equipment. We actually have by now a relatively decent number of captured tank units, but since we have no production of our own, we're probably not going to be doing anything with that just now. What we might be doing, however, is to research some better close air support planes, and then begin construction of those to give us our own air power, especially at the fronts where we have problems. And we might actually go and build and queue up some air bases in that regard. Unfortunately, we haven't managed to hold the air base hold this air base here in Transvaal. If we had, this means we are also under enemy air power at this point, although they are currently staying on the ground. But they have the potential to launch airstrikes. So we are going to start constructing an airbase. Probably, let's see where we can. This might not be a terrible place. So let's start constructing a level 2 airfield in Burundi. In fact, level 1 airfield is probably sufficient. And we do have an airfield up north in Egypt that we could use. So once we restart offensive operations westwards here, we are going to use that if we can have some air power. However, the Allies have started attacking Vichy France. So in that regard, I am actually relatively happy, because that means we can conquer Northern Africa without getting into trouble with the Axis at this point, because the Axis are looking like a faction that is not to be trifled with. And as such, we are just going to hold here for now, build up our industry for a while, let our troops recover, and let our equipment shortages recover. A lot of the troops are still waiting for AA guns and for similar things, but they do have. We do have now trucks. Our divisions, at least the previous rendition of these divisions, have field hospitals. which would mean that we are losing less experienced fighters on the ground. And you can see that a lot of our troops are very experienced already, especially in the First Army that has been doing most of the fighting. And that is the situation. So here we go. The other thing we want to get is our stability further up, because this will give us factory output. And we do have the industry concern already. We do want the captain of industry next as well. So the next 150 political power, if I ever get to having another 150 political power, is going to go into the captain of industry to refocus our efforts for a while, probably until the end of 1943, into construction and building up our infrastructure. And we will soon be able to, probably Djibouti is going to be the first nation that we can release into their own administration, but a lot of the others, like Sudan, are already catching up as well, and then we can invite them into the African Union, and that will start liberating a lot of the bits of Africa, such that Ethiopia does not have to manage all of it, because we are quite busy doing so. Anyhow, so right now we are constructing civilian factories. What were these railways I was building here? I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, yes, we do need these railway upgrades in order to ensure that we have sufficient supply in these regions here. I don't think we have. We're still short on trucks, so we would need a lot more trucks to be able to that railroad here needs to be upgraded to be able to use them to distribute supplies. So we're still very much limited to whatever we can carry on horseback towards the front lines. But maybe they will also start attacking into Vichy France here, which would mean that we will need to stretch our front lines in the northern region, where we have a relatively few supplies as well. So this might also be a critical area where we might have to just give some ground, because these are all plains in Sudan that are not particularly easy to defend, especially if you're out of supplies. All right, so construction. We are building civilian factories, and then we'll build the trains finished, and then we'll build some military factories. In fact, can we? No, we don't have additional factories on our own territory, but we'll build them in Alexandria for now. That'll have to do. Okay, so right now the only front that sees active fighting is the southern front here, where the British are furiously trying to assault us from all directions, especially the supply hub. This supply hub. They are very much interested in trying to get it back. What? Paris has been Did I miss something? Hang on. What? Oh! I did miss something. Significant development. I think I know where the Americans went. They have started the Normandy landings relatively early. That might mean that we may actually. So if the Americans are busy, okay, so that'll take some heat off the Soviets in the east. So if the Americans are busy conquering Europe, then the British might be easing up on these assaults that we're seeing in the south here. Because right now they are very much interested in trying to retake all this territory here, and we're just digging in and letting them do it pretty much. The trying, not the actual retaking. But it looks like they've actually stopped attacking at this point. The plan actually still remains once we get out. There they go again. Once we get, how does this look? So these are British. What are these? These are American, mostly American infantry divisions, and probably some British as well. They are relatively powerful, but we get defense. We're dug in, and we get defensive values up to almost 900. So good luck with that. they are not going to do an awful lot, and they are going to lose quite a lot in these battles. Now they are using air power, but it's not an awful lot. These are some Yugoslavian fighters. I have no idea why they're down south here. But if we look at the battles, and you see the Americans are taking losses, and we are not. They are literally throwing their men into our gun emplacements and into our well-entrenched formations. The Vichy France, no, definitely not. You're controlling bits of Africa. If you're controlling bits of Africa, you're no friend of mine. What else can we do? Modify Officer Corps. We don't need a Chief of Navy. We're good in that regard. We are done with the doctrine. And I think, was there anything I wanted to change here? This is planning speed, entrenchment speed, railway gun bombardment. Not really interested in that. Cavalry attack. I was thinking of designing a couple of cavalry divisions, to be honest. But most of the territory, unfortunately, is either jungle or forest. So there's really no point in, unless we're talking about the plains in the south here in South Africa. Everything north of that is pretty much is going to be pretty much useless. But what are we getting right now? We can switch this off. We can switch this over and try to design a couple of cavalry divisions, because they're basically free with that. To use in South Africa. So maybe that's not a terrible idea. So let's do that. Let's switch this into proper heritage, because I'm done with my doctrines, I think. Let me double check. Yes, we're done with the doctrines. So there's no need for us to have the doctrine cost. So let's go into for proper heritage. And then see if we can design ourselves a proper cavalry template. So I'm going to duplicate that. It's not going to be a garrison, but that is going to be a cavalry division. And they will need better insignia, I think. It's fine. They can use the cavalry insignia, but they're going to be regular. And these are, now I do not know what the proper name for that would be. But these would be, hang on, give me a second. I'll try to dig that up. I think Oromo cavalry would be a good title for these. So we can add cavalry units to these. See how big we're going to make these. The thing is, they are a bit faster. That is in plains. They are not very good in forest. They're not very great in hills, in the mountains. We're not going to make an awful lot of them, but for plains they are quite useful. So let's see if we can turn these guys into a 20 width cavalry. That might be a good start. And I don't have I don't think I can add line artillery. I would have to add motorized artillery, because if I was going to do line artillery, then their speed would drop down to 4, and I don't want to bring trucks into this because trucks expensive. I don't have any, but they would obviously need some support artillery, which we're going to add once we have some army experience. So, but we can save that already, and we can start training up the overall Oromo cavalry. Let's give them priority, actually. And we're going to get, let's say, 4, yeah. Let's give them four divisions. 4 divisions of cavalry, and we can start sending them maybe 6. Let's make it 6. Okay, 6 cavalry divisions, and we will be sending them around. Okay, let's get back to it. The British have sort of seized their assaults here. Now I'm actually going to be more keen to see how the Americans. Okay, Vichy France is fighting back. They have taken Amiens as the new capital, but it looks like Vichy France is pushing them back in Europe. We'll see how many we'll see how much they're going to achieve there. Moscow they have crossed the river, so Moscow is going to fall. The Hungarians are pushing through there, and I don't think there's anything they can do to stop them. The Germans are, and the Romanians are busy with it as well. But this might distract the Americans a little bit. How are they doing in Northern Africa? Not great, to be honest. I would have thought that they would make more progress there. It's mostly there are some American tank divisions here on the ground. They'd probably be better used on the other side. And yes, they are still assaulting our lines here in the south, but this is just going to cause. I mean, look at this. This is just going to cause them more and more casualties by throwing themselves against our lines like this. It's really not going to give them an awful lot of. So yeah, we're at this point happy to just sit back a little bit, and in fact, is that undefended? I think it is. But now we'll complete the supply lines here, and then we will casually restart. Unfortunately, this is all forest and jungle, so cavalry is not going to do us any good here. But then we will restart the offensives, and we might be able to take the Belgian-controlled central areas. Right now, I'm really more interested just in holding on in the south here. But yeah, they are throwing themselves still into our lines, hoping to achieve a breakthrough. But it's not really going to happen. All you're achieving is losses, and then there's just too many of them to counterattack. As you see, there's a significant amount of American divisions busy here, and counterattacking against these is just too costly. So we're not going to bother. How's Europe doing? Free France doesn't look like it's expanding in any way whatsoever. They are bombing. They are starting to do bombing runs, but it doesn't look like they're expanding particularly well. Has Moscow fallen yet? Not yet. They're still fighting viciously, but the Germans are now pushing, as you can see, noticeably north. So yeah, I think instead of wasting your troops trying to save the doomed colonial empire of your former masters, it would be great if you would focus on Europe, I'd say, because this isn't getting you anywhere. This is just going to cause you casualties. So, well then, be my guest. How's Free France looking? I don't think they have a port. They lost Dieppe. Okay, yeah, they're doomed. They have no port. So this is going to fall. And I think the Axis are going to clean that up. But they are making some inroads here now. Okay, slowly but surely. Yeah, this was our original push line. So we'll let them conquer Vichy France here in North Africa, and then we'll start pushing again. The problem once again here is that we're going to need to get to Tobruk, because there's no supply between here and Tobruk, and we will be fighting out of supply very quickly, which tends to make people unhappy. But yeah, look at the amount of troops that we're up against here. It's a lot. But even if they are assaulting us with multiple divisions from multiple sides, there's just nothing they can do. Okay, we are losing trains again because the British are bombing our infrastructure. It's generally in Egypt. They're really unhappy. Why are we not having enough? Why are we not having enough equipment for garrisons? Is it because of? It's probably okay. Garrisons take priority, please. And in that case, they have to share with that. Okay, yeah, we should have. Romania is sending me things. I'm always happy to receive things. The land bridges are working, by the way, probably because we have neutral territory between ourselves and the Axis. So we don't actually need convoys to make any kind of shipments there, which is a good thing, because we really don't want to get into a naval war. Yeah, these are South Africans, Americans attacking us here. More Americans, really a lot of American troops. What are their casualties by now? United States. Yeah, we are. The casualties are ticking up very, very rapidly. And I think they would really be better advised to concentrate on Europe. Because, yes, Germany has cleaned up that. Paris has been deliberated again. And they are cleaning up this. They have cleaned up this failed Normandy landing quite significantly. Yeah, Americans, I don't know about you, but I am going to get myself a captain of industry. There we go. And that'll help a bit with our construction efforts. How do they look like, by the way? Okay, we are starting to... we almost got another civilian factory finished up. Unfortunately, it's not in land that we actually control, but that is okay, you know. We're not just building that for ourselves, we're building that for the war effort, and as such for... are we getting anything from trade? I mean, we are producing chromium quite a lot, but we're not exporting that to anyone right now, which is a shame. But if somebody wants chromium, we've got a lot of chromium. We are exporting all the chromium. We have taken these resources off. Maybe that's why they're so angry. But this also means that we are taking a fair amount of equipment off them. Let's see what they're bringing along. Yeah, we're capturing a lot of 155mm M114s. These are pretty good artillery guns, and also 105mm. That is pretty nice. What do we got from the Americans? Oh yeah, 2,800 M1 Thompsons. Thank you. I'm gonna take your generous contribution to the war effort. Trucks, not so many just yet, but we've got a bunch from the British, and yes, we are taking American support equipment as well. Vichy France wants to send us things. Yeah, please do. And yes, the Americans are losing a lot of equipment and men in the southern reaches of Africa for no particular gain, to be honest. How is the war in... Moscow has fallen. So I think at this point, I don't know if the Soviet Union... Okay, that's done. We are going to build better infantry equipment. Yes, please. And we are going to focus our research right now on industry. So let's get the assembly line production going. And build up a bit of industry. Yeah, I don't know if the Soviets can still hold this, because the Hungarians are pushing quite significantly. Although this might be the Germans just the territory going to the Hungarians. And yeah, I don't have the greatest of hopes for the Soviet Union, but that is also not my problem, to be honest. I'm feeling grateful towards the Soviets, but we have no means of assisting them because we're fighting our own war, and we are trading with them, but that's all. We're trading some steel with them, but that's all for now. And we are just sitting this out until sometime in 1943 when we can start offensive operations again. They are making inroads. This is ideal. They are making inroads towards Vichy France, which means I will have to... Actually, I just need to defend one more province here, I think. Because that is inaccessible territory. Yes. So if they are... hang on, why is this all Free France? Oh no, it is Free France, yes. Oh, it is Free France. Free France is the other France. Yes, okay, hang on. Thank you. So they are cleaning up Vichy France here, and they're cleaning up Free France on the other side. There's a little bit of Germany left, and this is Imperial Spanish Morocco, but I don't think the Spaniards are in the war. No, they're not. So this is all Free France now, and they are starting to take over Vichy in Africa, which means we don't have to mess with the Axis, which I am, like I said, actually relatively grateful for. I am on good terms with the Germans. We can coexist as long as they promise to stay out of Africa. They hold no colonies. It's only the remaining French colonies, and we're more than happy to take these of the Allies, if it comes to that. But okay, industry research is done. More industry research. Can we go? Yeah, we can go down. Concentrated 5. Go. And construction is coming along as well. We're almost done with the civilian factories, and then we will build some more military factories, which will assist us with the equipment problems that we're currently having. This is mostly from fresh deployments, but Hungary is sending us things. Everyone is sending us things, which I am grateful for. But we are taking a lot of equipment from these futile assaults, like the British light tanks. These are actually French light tanks. We might actually be able to put up our first tank divisions here soon, if we are doing some tank designs. This might not be a terrible idea. I mean, we have the fuel for it. Probably not for long if we start moving around with tanks in Africa. It's also not the right territory for tanks, to be honest. Tank recon might be nice though. Light tank recon might be something we could do, just by throwing these tanks in there. Actually, is that something I could do? Let me quickly check. I mean, I don't have an available slot, unfortunately. But we could trade out the support artillery. What would that look like if we were... oh, we don't actually have recon. Okay, never mind then. But I am going to change the Oromo cavalry and give them some support artillery. And probably field hospitals, as well as, I'm thinking, engineers. Because engineers will improve their movement, even though they are in territory that they're not particularly suited for. The engineers are still gonna they're giving some breakthrough and other things as well, so that's probably not terrible. So let's add these 3, and then I think these divisions are good to go. They're really more for exploiting the open territory and breaking through in South Africa. Hong Kong has fallen. Okay, so Japan is... Wow, have they naval invaded Hong Kong? Because that is still Jiangxi. So their whole northern push actually has failed pretty dramatically, and this is China. So China is actually pushing back into Manchukuo, and while Japan is holding significant amounts of Southeast Asia, they are not doing too well on the ground against China by the looks of it. Well then, good luck to them. We have our own problems. Just keeping an eye and making sure that nobody breaks through here. But it looks like they've given up for the time being. Construction engineering is finished, and we can immediately do the next one. There we go. And we're starting to build up some factories. The British and Americans have stopped their assaults. They are encroaching into Vichy France here. There's probably not an awful lot in there. Interestingly enough, this is expanding again, so it looks like the Germans are counterattacking in North Africa. Okay, this is unfortunate, because I would really like them to be out of North Africa if possible. You don't get to hold anything in Africa. Trust me, you're not gonna. So these guys, this works in our... It doesn't work in our favor, but there are troops fighting here, and it looks like Vichy France is actually attacking into... Oh, this is unfortunate, into Congo. And this is not what we had in mind. We may have to talk about this at some point. Okay, let's see. Yeah, definitely they are pushing back hard in North Africa here. What if I... Okay, yeah, they've already pulled the troops off the coast here. It looks like the Allies are losing in Africa here, even despite the involvement of the Americans. It looks like Free France is the short-lived occupation of Northern Africa by Free France is not happening. I don't want to start pushing because then they'll have to move troops off. But if that we might have to start pushing towards Tobruk just to ensure that we're even holding some of this. Incompetence wherever you looked. So stop concentrating on assaulting my lines and be useful more in the north, I would say. Maybe. Like, stop attacking us here. What if I pull most of my divisions off this? Like, I will leave 2 divisions here, but the rest of them I'll pull back to the coastline. How about that? So you don't need so many divisions to defend against me here, and you can focus more on liberating North Africa. Well, recolonizing North Africa. Just kick the Germans out of there. How's the war looking in general? So the losses on the Allied side are staggering, especially in the United Kingdom, and the Americans have lost significant amounts of troops at this point. So while the German losses are relatively meager in comparison, we can't see what the Soviets have lost because we're not involved in that conflict. But yeah, this looks a little sketchy what they've done here. Okay, so the Germans have, I don't know, they must have naval invaded here. How did they get here even? Vichy France is now making inroads towards this Belgian-controlled area. So I was kind of hoping that the British would focus more on that rather than trying to push me out of my lines here. How's my cavalry coming along? They are still short of... no, they've actually got their equipment. They're just waiting to become trained. So this is all good. And once we have more equipment, we will also slowly starting to get the better, the ones with the line artillery, the more powerful infantry divisions. But yeah, production-wise, everything is in good order. Guns will need to build up their production efficiency, but we're still quite short on support equipment. We have actually a decent amount of trains at this point, but I don't want to take the factory off because then we'll lose the production efficiency. So let's just keep going, and we'll just observe from our point of view how the conflict is evolving here. So I wonder if these guys are starting to get pushed back. Or are they able to advance again? They are holding a port here in Algiers, so at least they have supply. But the Germans are making pretty significant advances here. Oh, they're assaulting us now. Well, it's a light tank and a light tank brigade and an infantry division. Good luck getting through there. I think you have bigger problems, if I'm going to be honest. Support that maybe instead of trying to assault our lines here. How are they? Okay, this starts looking extremely patchy. What is going on here? Spain is now suddenly making claims around. The Germans are taking over parts. This is starting to become very sketchy. That actually means... Okay, so this is Free France now. So the Chad has flipped. This is now Free France, which means we need to assign an additional division division here. So let's bring. Honestly, we don't need the mountain. We might need the mountain division in Northern Africa. So let's bring this division here to the front line, and we need to include that section. There we go. So we're bringing an additional division south to fill up that gap in the front line. And yeah, they have stopped their assault. So I'm really just waiting for my cavalry divisions to come in. They will be quite useful once they are finished training. And it's not going to take an awful lot longer. Are they still waiting for any material? I think they've got what they need. No, they still need AA. Oh, they don't have any AA. We might just deploy them regardless. These are not even the cavalry division. Hang on, the cavalry divisions have all their equipment. They just need to finish training. Okay, these are the regular divisions. All right, cavalry divisions coming up. We're gonna get ourselves. Oh, have we lost a division somewhere? Whoa, what happened? Where did we lose a division? He's only got 20. Oh no, sorry, these are still backfilling actually. I thought he was already at 24. Nah, that's all good. But we can add the cavalry divisions under Mengesha because he has achieved the skilled staffer, which increases the maximum army size that he can operate on. So yeah, Africa, the war of the Axis versus the allies in Northern Africa is still raging. I'm gonna leave them alone here and see if the allies with American support can hold that. I mean, 1 million American casualties sound like a lot, but yeah, the Soviets, Moscow is firmly in Axis control, and they keep pushing. Now they should be relatively soon in an area that has no more supply. But unless the Soviets can push them back and give them their Stalingrad, I don't think that is going to end up working in the end. Where are we being pushed here? Yeah, good luck with that. Only helps us filling up our stockpiles. So we're almost done with the factories in Alexandria. And then we will start constructing. Okay, these guys are in place, and yeah, that is all free France. Not going to bother with it, but you go and conquer that all. I'm more than happy about that because that means we can take it off. And yeah, they're not making anything happen in Northern Africa here. Let's see. Yeah, Soviets are going down, and the assaults here are still happening. Okay, how far is my cavalry? And they're complete. They should be there relatively soonish, and then we will get a special detachment and we'll start the assault in the south. Everything else can just hold for now. Do we have anybody we can liberate at this stage? 75... 71, 75, not quite. Djibouti is getting there. We don't have to deal with resistance at all, mostly. So most of our troops should be, yeah, not many troops in the garrison. The locals have gladly, yes, they are getting pushed back here. Okay, we're gonna have to start the assault in the north again, because otherwise they'll push them all the way to El Alamein. Because that has completely failed here. That there is not an awful lot happening. Okay, so I am going to once again remove that front line, get these divisions up to that front line, and then we will start another push towards Tobruk. Because I don't see them winning this here. They are making some progress in the south, however, and we are starting to see some British and French divisions here. So if they can clean that up, that would be kind of awesome. I mean, we don't have to deal with it. But their lines are definitely thinning out here. So we're not counter-pushing just yet. We might... Yeah, I don't necessarily want to weaken them at this point. I'm happy with them to go ahead and bang their head against the... No, Italy, you don't get that. And you can send me rifles if you so please. I don't have any problems with that. And yeah, the Soviets are losing pretty quickly. And we are constructing. Sorry, it's a little bit of an observational episode. And that's literally just because, you know, we are biding our time here. There's still relatively strong forces pitted against us. But we will restart the hostilities once the cavalry has finished training, and then we will try to take out South Africa. I don't think there was anything in South Africa that I actually needed. Yeah, there's more chromium that I have more than enough of. I've got tungsten, which is good for artillery production, but other than that, I've got some rubber, and that's about it. The steel really is happening here in the north. Yeah, they are definitely losing. Okay, so we will restart the assault. Give me half of the division to push straight towards Tobruk, and the other half goes along the southern route, and we'll see who gets there first. Okay. So yeah, I don't think they have anything to. After a brief rest, yeah, there's a British division dug in pretty well, and they have air power in the area, but I don't think they can hold us. We'll see. We'll push them back from here. How bad is the situation? Quite actually, quite significant amounts of air power, but I don't think they can. I don't think they're going to be able to hold this, because we effectively have them on the run at this point. And we're taking some losses from the air, however. So we'll see if we can. We might actually try to see if we can get an encirclement going here. Let's see. Yeah, you should really be fighting the Germans on the other side, and I wouldn't have to do this. And I will try. Okay, there's a lot of divisions here, so we will try. We do have to be somewhat careful not to be cut off, so I'm gonna leave one division here, and then we will try to cut them off at what is it, Masamatru, and see if we can. We are gonna need another division here, though. Okay, we'll see if we can cut them off there, and then grind them down. That should be the whole. That should be the complete. That should be the end of their eastern force, ideally, because they will be cut off from supply if we can manage this. And then we will just try to crush them here, because yeah, that's not really happening over there by the looks of it. So we'll take things over from here. Okay, let's make sure that they're not getting out of there. And that'll be a whole bunch of British divisions that we don't have to deal with anymore. Okay, yep, we've got them encircled. Okay, everybody assault this position. And crush them here. You there. Everybody here, and then crush them there. And assault here, and then bring them through. Okay, that should be the end. That should be the end of these forces. How many divisions have we encircled here? We don't even know. 4 divisions. We've got. I don't even know. They're going. There's an American tank brigade fighting here as well, but I think we can. But now they're making progress over there. Okay, we'll push them back to Tobruk, and then that's about as far as we're going to go. So let's see if we can reach Tobruk before they can reinforce. And kick them out through the desert here. Okay, Manchukuo cancels their Lend-Lease. We'll see if we can take Tobruk. Let's get these 3 divisions to assist. Everybody else go along the southern line. Is that Tobruk? Yes, that is Tobruk. Okay, let's see if we can make it to Tobruk. And we are already going to. Oh, we're starting to see some cavalry divisions. I am already going to send them south, but I'm not going to give them orders yet. But these divisions are going to go. Where are we going to push? Here. So they're going to go here. Okay. And here we are making some progress. Some British tank divisions here. Our anti-air and our advanced infantry equipment has no problem penetrating these tanks. So let's see if we can take Tobruk off them. They are now making inroads here again, so maybe that's as far as we push. But I did want to start the railroad to Tobruk. That needs to happen. Yep. Okay, they are holding Tobruk. So that assault might be a bit harder than we thought it was going to be. We'll see if we can assault them from multiple sides once we break through these tank divisions here. Why are you trucking off? What in the world? No. Stay on this. Everybody stay on this front line. You break through and surround Tobruk and kill them off there if you can. Okay, break through Tobruk here. To Tobruk here. How's it looking in the south? South looks stable. Attack on Tobruk currently not going particularly well. More assaulting, please. We are trying to push through some relatively defensive position. The problem is supply. So if we can't hold Tobruk, then the whole operation has failed. If we can't take Tobruk, then the whole operation has failed, pretty much. Okay, we will let these 4 divisions there rest a little bit and see if Iceland has joined the Axis. Okay, sure. See if we can make our way through here. It looks like we've pushed them back. And if we can encircle them... yeah, sure, whatever. If we can encircle them here... French-Icelandic War. American... my goodness, everyone's having fun. No, you don't get to join the war just yet, so I don't need to defend your coastlines. Okay, enough now, will you? We're still in the German-American War, so I don't think anything significantly has changed. But you don't get to join the war either. Okay, see if we can break through here. I think we can. We just have to maintain the momentum and break through, surround Tobruk, and then we should be able to take them out there. Construct the railroads, start the assault on Tobruk already. We do need to break through there. Yeah, they are pushing a little bit back against Vichy France, but I do want to take Tobruk here, just such that I have taken Tobruk. But I need it surrounded first, if you don't mind. So if you can make that happen, air doctrine available. How? Oh, okay, I see. We are gonna go battlefield support from the Chief of Air Force. Not that I have actually constructed any airplanes. We're still building up some factories, and hopefully that defense is going to complete, and then we are going to take Tobruk. And we will need to prioritize that railway, however. That one. So that needs to be prioritized, please. I do need a division here and 2 divisions. We're just going to hold here for now. These 2 need to One needs to keep these guys while the other division is making their way over there. No, we got cut off. That is bad. Take Tobruk. They've vacated Tobruk. Just take Tobruk. Yeah, and then we can reconnect and cut them off. Okay, that should engage them. We can take. This is okay. We can take Tobruk. We can reconnect our front lines, and then we will have supply there as well. And then we can. Yes, we've cut them off from Tobruk. We need one division here. We will take Tobruk. No! They've reconnected. Okay, we have taken Tobruk. Cut them off. Just cut them off here. Just let that leave that one division there. We'll leave one division here. One cuts off. Hold Tobruk. And everybody else maintain you. Okay, we've managed to encircle one of their divisions. And we will try to see if we can cut them off here. Let's hold. The rest of you needs to hold Tobruk, and you can assist with that assault here. Okay, assembly line's done. Hang on. No, Vichy France, you don't get that. Iceland, I don't mind you. Do we have any more? Yes, we can. Which one are we going? Production efficiency retention and cap, or production efficiency cap and growth? I'm gonna go with retention. I just want to finish up the industry research here. We've got our cavalry divisions. They all need to go there. Was that all of them that I've trained? One more. We're waiting for one more, and then we will start the offensive in the south. Oh, they're attacking us across the lines here again. Yeah, you do that. I'm a little busy here right now. Let's see if we can manage to encircle them here while we are wiping out this one British division. This is all getting a little messy at this point. We'll take off their airbase, to be honest. We're now fighting in a sandstorm as well. Okay, everybody onto that front line, please. And see if you can... so one of you go get the airbase. I said one of you go and get the airbase. And we'll see if we can get through here. And you return to Tobruk, please. We need to defend Tobruk. Okay. Not really anybody else I would need here. So I think I'm just going to... I'm going to get myself an aircraft designer. Something that is good for... This is just good for fighters. I'm not planning to build any fighters. I'm planning to build... We have nothing to assist our close air support? Not really. Do I still have anything here? I have a close air support expert that I can... I've got an armor expert, but I'm not going to get any armor, so... Capital ships designer. Yeah, that's not happening. Can't get him because we already have one. I don't know, I'm just going to save up the political power for now. Okay. Let's see if we can break through here. And then we will just... okay, we've taken the airport. I don't need 2 divisions here, to be honest. But we can maybe make that encirclement happen. And then that'll be it, pretty much. That's all I want, really. We have a relatively decent choke point here. And we can then... We should be getting supply, so get the railroad completed up to here. So that railroad needs to happen first. Okay, good. Are we gonna catch that division still? Yes, we are. Okay, everybody here, assault that division. Wipe it out. Bring somebody south, and everybody else just dig in. So right now, Tobruk is getting supplied over across the water. which is sort of less than ideal. So we just have to stabilize our lines here, and then once we've taken this province here. Really? Okay. Come on. That province here, I want that province. And then we can hold the front line. Yep. You send me more guns, I'm always happy to have more guns. Okay, and that's the front line we're holding. If we can. Alright. There. We've taken the airport, we've got Tobruk. We'll have to assign some port guards to that. Area defense include this, please. And right now we're just going to be digging in. We have supply mostly sorted. In fact, actually, that does not have supply. This is a little unfortunate. But we are finished here. Let's see. Maybe we can sort it out. Maybe it gets sorted out. It's because we don't have the railroad finished yet. I think once we have the railroad finished, the supply should be sorting itself out. Okay. Right. I would say we just do the research. We get a better artillery, and then we will, in the next episode, we will restart our offensive operations in the south, I would say, because I think I now have all the... can you railroad here, please? I should be having all the cavalry division there, and then all these divisions can get their own front line. And everybody is sending me equipment, which I am always grateful for. No, you don't get to join, and neither do you. And we still don't have anybody to release. Nope, 76%, 74%, yep. All right, so a bit of a slow episode. We have made some inroads in Northern Africa, but hopefully the Allies can still kick Vichy France to death there. It looks like they're making some progress here. So if they can take out the French and Germans and kick them out of Africa, and we can kick them out of Africa right back. Not sure if that offensive is still happening in the east here, but I think all in all... oh, they are liberating Greece. Oh, that's what they've been doing. They've been liberating Greece. Okay, so they have done naval landings in here. All good, none of my concern. We're just here to liberate Africa. And that's it for me today. Thanks everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.